Are your students confident in using text features when reading nonfiction texts? If we're really honest with ourselves, we know that most students skip over the text features when reading a nonfiction article or book. Our students either don't know what to do with all these text features, or it just feels like one more thing to do, or the text features feel disjointed and separate from the text, and students don't know how and when to pay attention to them. Never fear. Today, I have a process for helping your students both understand and use text features when reading nonfiction texts. I'm Lisa Burns, a teacher success coach, veteran elementary teacher, and mom of 5. And this is the Teach Joyfully podcast. Thanks for joining me today. Are you missing out? Team H.O.P.E Insiders get extra encouragement, tips and tricks, surprise freebies, and more. Become a H.O.P.E Insider today and get access to all kinds of freebies at www.hopeineducation.com/vault. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever given your students a worksheet to go with a nonfiction text that has them answer questions by finding various things in the text, including text features? I have. Okay, that in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but has that been the sum total of your teaching on text features? Yes, I know so many teachers that aren't really comfortable teaching text features. It's not that they don't understand what text features are, they just aren't quite sure how to help their students understand how to use them. So let's begin by defining what are text features. Text features are additional information that stands out from a nonfiction text and helps us further clarify, visualize, and understand the text. It's added detail to what is in the main text. Text features can include lots of things. Some of them are headings, table of contents, bold words or phrases, charts, graphs, subheadings, captions, definitions, glossary, and images. And each and every one of these things can help us understand the text better. So when should your students pay attention to text features? I recommend that you pay attention to all the text features before reading the text. So the first thing you're going to do with a nonfiction text, just like you would with any picture book, is you're going to preview the text. I like to think of it as kind of like a picture walk, even if there may not be that many pictures in the text, because you're walking through all the text features in addition to the images. So you're taking that idea that we've talked about before of your students being text detectives and applying it to a nonfiction text. They're looking for clues to what the text is about, clues to the text structure, what's the author's purpose. They're looking for vocabulary clues. They're looking for main idea clues, and they're preparing to use any images, charts, and graphs to help visualize what kind of information they're going to be learning about. Quite often in a nonfiction text, you can read the table of contents or the title and the headings and subheadings, and it will give you a good idea of what the entire text will be about, kind of like a mini summary. So the next step is to decide when your students will really study the text features. You're doing a preview of them before you read the text, but you're not really studying each and every text feature in the very beginning. Maybe you're going to do that in the very beginning during that preview, especially if it's a shorter text, a one-page text or a very short text. Then you might really study all those text features. On a longer text or a multi-page text, I often like to do a just-in-time study of the text features. So you've already previewed all of the text features, but now you're going to really study them. I do them on that page when we get to that page. After you've read the page and they've read all the text features, something to think about is questions students can ask themselves about these text features. What is important about this? What information is here that was not in the text? Did this help me understand the text better? How do these text features relate to the topic? All of these can be important questions for them to understand. One, why is that text feature included? But also, why is that information important? Clearly, the author thought this was very important that they used a text feature to draw it out. Now, we may or may not agree with the author, but we have to at least give it a go to be able to tell. Then as students are reading, they can refer back to the text features as needed in order to understand the text, but they already know what's in them so they can go back and forth. It's hard to refer back to a text feature if you haven't even checked it out before you started reading the text. This kind of cross-referencing is a really important skill for students because it's teaching them to go back and check things and make sure that they're understanding using all the features that they've been given by the author. In a whole group setting, when I'm teaching text features, I like to wrap it up with practicing evaluating the effectiveness of each text feature together. Not all text features are created equal, and some of them are more helpful than others, and different students might find different text features helpful. So it's nice to have a discussion about this and talk about, where did we think these text features were important? Did we think that they were helpful? How did they help us? And to evaluate that. It helps students understand the importance of text features, but also helps them to discern important information versus less important information. And that's a skill in and of itself. If students are working independently, you could have an exit ticket where students can check off the features that help them and cross out the ones that didn't. Even they can circle their very favorite one, the one that helped them the most. That's a great way for young students to be able to evaluate the effectiveness of text features within a text when they're reading independently. All right, a quick recap. Make sure you're clear about what text features are and how they can help your students understand a text. Teach your students to preview the text features just like a picture walk, and study the text features. You can do it by page or all at once. The purpose of studying those text features is to gather information on all the author's purpose, the text structure, the main idea, anything that we can. We're using those to gain clues about the text that will help us better understand the text. Then read the text and refer back to the features as needed for clarity. That's it. Give it a go. So that's it for this episode of the Teach Joyfully podcast, my teacher friends. My sincere thanks to you, my listeners, for tuning in. For all those of you who've taken the time to post a review, email me your thoughts or DM me on Instagram with your feedback and topic requests. You can find the show notes and all the resources mentioned in the episode on my website at www.hopeineducation.com/podcast. And remember, a happy teacher is a good teacher. Until next time, teach joyfully and take care of you.